Hey guys, welcome to the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast for Tuesday. It is April 18th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Raymond Report. You can get the Raymond Report each and every day right here at atsstats.com. Also, brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Follow the top baseball pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. And once you follow the top pickers, you go to your following selections. And once you get there, you can see the people you're following making their selections. Compare your picks with their selections. And this way you can build your consensus. And it's all for free. Anybody can join. Anybody can play. bullpenpicks.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday, April 18th. My name is Ron Raymond, a five-time sports handicap champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's plus 4 degrees today in the nation's capital, a little bit overcast, but you know what? It's still a good day, and hopefully it's a nice day where you're at. Hopefully you had a good day last night. I know the Raymond Report, we had a pretty good day with our selections. Our free picks went 2-0, and also our members' premium pick, we had the Kings over. That went over. We had the Rockies and the Bucks game going over the total. And we also had the, let me see here, the Mets beating the Dodgers we had a plus line. Yeah, we had the New York Mets plus 140. So very good day with our premium picks. And folks, you can get my picks and Ross Benjamin picks each and every day. Go to picks, go to premium picks for Ron or Ross, and you can get our selections. And when you sign up for membership at ATS Stats, you also get the free picks inside our members area. All right, little updating here on the YouTube channel. It's now called the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate a lot of the pearls and the tools that we have here at ATS Stats. Today I'm going to cover MLB, NBA, NHL, everything that's on the docket for this evening, and we'll go into some of the features, and hopefully we can get you some good sports betting information. And if you go to the website right now, ATS Stats, and you like the fast facts, and especially on a mobile device, the one thing I'm being more conscious now, and I want to thank the people for the feedback yesterday. And I saw the feedback and say, you know what, your site sucks for mobile or just for signing up, and you know we're working on this stuff, right? And the thing we're really trying to give the viewers and the members a better mobile experience. So just bear with us. But if you do go on mobile now, you're going to see that this is going to come up very nice. And when you look at the Mets and Dodgers fast facts, and here are some of the fast facts tonight. Dodgers and Mets playing at 10-10. The total in the game is at 8. The Dodgers are favored to win. In fact, they are minus 160, while the Mets are 140. Tyler McGill is going to go here today for the Metropolitans, and he's 3-0 in the year with an ERA of 2.25. Clayton Kershaw going to go for the Dodgers. He's 2-1 in the year, a 3.50 ERA. Now, the New York Mets on a 5-game win streak, and going back the last 10 years, anytime the New York Mets are they're 8-2 as an away team coming off a 5-game win streak, and yeah, that's a dilly-dilly right there. And the under 14, 24-2 for the Dodgers as a home team coming off a 2-game lose streak for the last 7 years.
I want winners.
Yeah, there you go. We just gave you a nice winner right there. And the New York Mets 8-2 in their last 10 games, while the Dodgers are 3-7 in the last 10. The New York Mets also 4-6 in their last 10 to the under, while the Dodgers 6-3-1 to the over. You can see Rusty likes the underdogs because he's barking for the underdogs right now. All right. So hey, that's what happens when you do a podcast, and then you got probably somebody knocking at your door right now. But the show must go on. Atlanta Hawks taking on the Boston Celtics, and you can see we got some fast facts right there, and you can get all these fast facts right here at atsstats.com. Also the Lightning, and I'll incorporate more of them this afternoon as we go along. All right. So no more Rusty sound bites here. Hey, oh, it's all good. All right, the Parks Racing today. If you like to feed the ponies, go to the website, ATS Stats. We'll give you the first 3 races at Parks Racing. And in race number 1, we're going to go with the 4-horse Misbehaving Lady, ridden by Gonzalez, 42%. The place horse, the number 7 horse, Frieder Fanatic, ridden by Adorno, 35%. And the show place is the number 5 horse, Inspector Reload, ridden by J.A. Torres, 33%, 33% for J.A. Torres. And yeah, so 475 is our recommendation in race number 1 today at Parks Racing. And you can get race 2 and race 3 going to their website. Or if you want the free tip sheet today, go to Horses, free tip sheet. And we give you the free track tip sheet today at Parks Racing, all the races. And normally on a Tuesday they race about 10 races. In fact, when I scroll down, 10 or 11, it all depends. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 races today at Parks. Post time today in the Parks racing is at, 12:40 Eastern. And you can get all the free tip sheets each and every day right here at atsstats.com. Don't forget, you can get Ross and myself some premium picks. And so we give out a lot of information. And if you missed the podcast, you can check it on our YouTube channel or on the website, atsstats.com. All right, let's get to the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. As you know, this is my Dow Jones Industrial. And let's take a look at the NBA. I know normally the last couple of shows I've been doing MLB, but today I said, you know what, let's incorporate the perfect trifecta of NBA, MLB, and the NHL. And because of NBA and NHL, there's going to be a lot of low currency games, low volume of games. So 1-1 last night in the NBA, 0-2 to the under. But we look at it from a 7-day range, right? So in the 7-day range, 51.4% of the favorites have won straight up, which is, when you compare that to the year, 64%. Hey, hello, welcome to the playoffs, right? 51.4%. Regular season and the playoffs is two different animals. It's apples and oranges. And I don't know why I always go to this card when I talk about playoffs and the playoffs and the regular season. I know some of the my loyal listeners are playing out. Here he goes with his Atlanta Braves 90s reference again. Yeah, that's right. If you go back to the 90s when Bobby Cox and Glavine and Maddox and who else was there? Smoltz. They were a great regular season team, right? But they just had that trouble winning into the playoffs. But I think they did get one. One season they didn't win the World Series. But it's just, there's a lot of teams who do very well. Toronto Maple Leafs do very well during the regular season. You get to the playoffs, it's a whole different, when you're facing that same team day in and day out every second day, it becomes a head game, right? And that's, we'll see if some of these teams in the playoffs can get through that. 51.4%, 48.6% for the underdogs winning straight up. And you compare that, look at that, to the against the point spread in NBA, 58.6% of NBA underdogs are winning the last 7 days. We're in a bearish market if you like favorites, so not a good time to bet favorites in the NBA. And 62.9% of the last 7 days of the games have gone under in the NBA. So watch out for that. We're in a bearish market for the over in the NBA. All right, NHL last night. We had 4 games, and it went 50-50. Old Jerry Seinfeld, even Steven. 2-2, 3-1 to the under, and then 3-1 on the puck line. So yeah, if you did have the Kings, you had let me see here, the Islanders and Minnesota on the puck line. Yeah, you did pretty well. 75% of the games went under the total last night in the NHL, and we'll see what happens. This is going to be interesting. And you know me, when I handicap the NHL, I always, in the regular season, I handicap forwards to the goaltender, and in the playoffs, I do the opposite. I go goaltender, defense, and then the forwards, right? Because again, you get into the second, third, fourth game of a series, the coaches are line matching, and you get your check-in line on the scoring line. And look at McDavid last night, right? Off the score sheet. So that's the type of hockey you're going to see in NHL, where coaches now becomes coaching and goaltending, right? You put your best check-in line on the top forward line of the other team, and then you need great goaltending. You want to win a Stanley Cup, you need the guy between the pipes to stop the biscuit, as they say. All right, so let's go to MLB. Let's see how the Dow Jones Industrial in the financials did last night in the Major League Baseball. 6-5. 2 games were rained out, so we only had 11 games. 7-4 to the over. And looking at the 7-day average, still 61% of the favorites have cashed in the last 7 days in Major League Baseball. 54.6 to the over. We're getting close. Remember last week it was 59? I said, trust me, guys, don't worry. The bookmakers will adjust. Eventually, this will be between 50 and 51, and we are heading down. And looking at the over, 64% of the games went over yesterday, 59.3, but 54.6 on the weekend. The weekend we had a lot of unders, right? So let me see here, right here. Last week, so we had 3 of the 4. I think that was the 10th to the 13th, and then we had 7-6, 9-5, 7-7, 7-4. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go to your Major League Baseball forecast here today. Now, because we're going to do NHL, NBA, I'm going to zip through this. But again, I will keep it here long enough so that if you are scrolling on your mobile device or on even your desktop, you can pause the the podcast to get a really good look. And the way this the computer pick what it looks like, we give you the forecast up here, the over-under and the line on the game, the last game, the pitchers for today, their record when they pitch for that team, the chances of winning, the streaks, the days rest, the straight-up record on the year, and the over-under record on the year, their strength of schedule last 7 games. Now, this is last 7. That's an important one, right? Strength of schedule last 7, because if a team is like 8-0 and you're wondering how come they're doing so well, check their strength of schedule. They're beating the beatables. And the last 10, straight up over-under. The VI stands for Vegas Index, or the Value Index. And that's, I take this line, my line, and I compare it to the bookmaker's line to see if we have value in the game. The COGO stands for chance of game going over the total. And then the VIC, the Vegas Index cycle, or the Value Index cycle, is C neutral. C means the team is either, if it's A, they're 60% or higher. That's an A-type team. They're classified as a Tier 1 team. A B-type team, a second-class team, the average Joes, 50 to 59.9. And the C-type teams, just like an old high school sweetheart, they're going to break your heart. And those are your C-type teams, and those are teams below 500. So now when you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, what are all these abbreviations stand for? So this way I'm going to zip right through it, and this way you can get a good read on the, if you want to pause it and look at it. All right, so game number 1, we got the Phillies beating the White Sox, 4.7 to 4.2. The over-under at 9.03. We got the Guardians taking on the Tigers. We got Cleveland winning this one, 4.01 to 3.8. The over-under at 7.9. And we're giving the Tigers, who are on a 3-game win streak, a 49.6% chance of winning. Guardians also, this must be a doubleheader. Yeah, there must be have a doubleheader here today because we got 4.7 to 4.2. Yeah, the 6:40 is that start, and this one here is at 4:40. So we got a doubleheader today in Detroit because of that rain out yesterday. Tampa Bay, hey, starting to lose some games now. Hey, now, remember I told you guys, I said, hey, the strength of schedule, come on, start playing somebody. And sure enough, now here we go. 4.7 to 4.3, the over-under at 9.01. Tampa Bay, though, going to send Archie Bradley to the hill, where I saw a couple of pitchers, so keep an eye on this. I thought I saw somebody like Taj, let me see here, for Tampa Bay. Let me go back to my list here. And for the Tampa Bay Rays, Taj Bradley. So keep an eye. I know Nick Lodolo's been killing it this year, 2-0 with a 2.12 ERA. So I do like Lodolo, the lefty for the Reds, and we'll see what happens today. And you know what? Cincinnati got the W last night, 8-1 against the Rays on the road. San Francisco taking on the Marlins. We do like San Fran here. Marlins was my free pick yesterday in the members area, 4.01 to 3.8. The over-under at 7.9. So we do like San Francisco today. LA, man, what's with Rusty today? Rusty's he's fired up. Hey, all these underdogs are firing up my dog. 4.7 to 4.1, the over-under at 8.92. So we do like this game to stay under the total. Minus 145 is the line. And the Bronx Bombers last game, a 2-0 win over Minnesota. And they're off a 1 day's rest. Halos winning yesterday against Boston. We do like the Orioles over the Washington Nationals, 4.6 to 4.2. The over-under at 8.95. Last 6 games for Baltimore have gone over the total. We got the Twins beating the Red Sox, 4.6 to 4.2. The over-under landing on 8.9. And looking at the Twins' last 3 games have gone under the total. And they are now riding a 2-game losing streak. Phillies over the White Sox. Again, that game was rained out yesterday. First pitch, 7:10. And you got Lucas Giolito, Bailey Falter. In fact, is this a doubleheader today? I thought I saw, was there a doubleheader in this one here? Let me see. Yeah, it is a doubleheader. All right. So we do have 2 doubleheaders today. So yeah, a lot of baseball on tap for the for people who love baseball. Minus 115 is the line. And again, in game number 2, we're going to go with Bailey Falter over Lucas Giolito. Giolito, yeah, not, let me see here if I got the... Yeah, 0-1 with an ERA of 6. Giolito's a hit-and-miss pitcher. Like when he's on, but when he's off, he's like Barrios off, right? On the road. And, 4.43 to 4.3 favoring the Phillies. Texas over Kansas City, 4.6 to 4.4. Texas now on a 2-game win streak, and they're coming off a 4-0 win over the Royals yesterday. And but strength of schedule, 32.6. Arizona, my under-the-radar team that started off really well. Got the win last night, 6-3, taking on the Cards again today against Jordan Montgomery, and we're going to go with St. Louis here. Pretty chalky, though, at 160, 4.4 to 3.7, the over-under at 8.10. Blue Jays took it on the chin last night, 9-2 against the Stros, And you can see Christian Javier got the better of Kevin Gossman. Gossman got rocked early. 4.6 to 4.2. The over-under 8.94. So we do like the Blue Jays today. I do like Toronto. Bassett's starting to settle in. I'll show you his stats in just a few minutes. Pittsburgh taking on the Rockies. We do like, we had the over as our premium pick in that game, and it was like 9-1 in the fourth inning. 5.4 to 5.2. The over-under at 10.6. Look at that. Coors, Coors over-under 12.5. Good old Coors Field with the high over-unders. Yeah, so we do like Colorado in this one. Colorado on a 6-game lose streak. Cubbies over the Athletics. Actually, no, we're going with the A's over the Cubbies. I don't know about that, computer. But you know what? I remember last week when the computer had that one pick. I was like, okay, that was really out of left field, but it won. So I'm not going to challenge the computer in this one. The algorithms. Minus 170 is the line on the Cubbies. 8 is the total. And 10-1 last night for the Cubs over the A's. And we got 4.41 to 4.06. You got Ken Waldichuk going up against the Stroman for the Cubbies. Milwaukee win 7-3 last night against Seattle. They're 12-5 in the year, Wow. And Seattle going to send Logan Gilbert to the hill. And we do have the Mariners winning tonight, 4.4, 3.7, the over-under at 8.15. And the chance of winning 62.06%. All right, let's get to that Blue Jay game I was telling you about. Chris Bassitt. Now, looking at the Bassitt stats on his numbers, the first three games. Remember, he got rocked in that first game against St. Louis. He only lasted 3.1 innings, and you got 10 hits, 9 runs, 9 earned, 4. But he has 0 strikeouts. And looking at his second game against the Angels at LA, he went 6 innings for 9 pitches. He only had 57 pitches in his first start against the Cards. But then he had 5 Ks. So then he had 5 Ks. He got the win in that game. And then he faced Detroit, went 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, and then but 7 Ks. So he's starting to feel comfortable with, I don't know, maybe it's the catcher calling a better game for him, because he's a new pitcher, right? And every time you get a new pitcher coming to a new organization, and I don't know who's catching. I don't know if it's Jansen or Kirk that's catching for Bassitt. Some pitchers like a certain catcher to catch for them because they call the game. So obviously, the last couple starts, he's getting 12 strikeouts in the last two strikeouts. So he's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. Jays on a 2-game lose streak. They took it on the chin last night, 9-2 or 9-1 or something like that, 9-2. And today you got Urquidy. And when you look at Jose Urquidy's last couple of starts, 1-0 on the year, 2.35 ERA. He has 3 starts so far on the season. And looking at his last couple of starts, 4 innings against Chicago, at Minnesota 5.1, at Pittsburgh 6 innings, and very nice pitcher, good ERA. But I'm gonna go with Urquidy here tonight. And looking at the analytics on tonight's game, you can see the chances of winning. The percentage play is even 48.2 and 48.3 for the Toronto Blue Jays. And when you're a bettor, you're looking for that value, right? I had minus 158 as my value index, and we're getting basically a pick'em line here tonight. So I do have the Blue Jays at minus 158 on my value index. And I'll show you my value index in just a few minutes. I don't know if we did a little bit of a change at the website, so I'll probably have to go and search for it a bit because it's just, there's so many tools in our toolbox here. Toronto against those C-type teams, 3-3 on the year. So, that's not a good record. Anytime you're playing teams with a below 500 record, this should be over 60%. Like, you got to beat the beatables and like really dominate. Not beat them, dominate. Last 3 games for Houston have gone over the total. They are 8-9 on the year. And 9-2 to the over at Minute Maid. That's interesting, right? It's too bad Barrios wasn't pitching. 6-5 for the Blue Jays on the road. 7-4 to the over. And right now, you can see the road record as a favorite or an underdog. In fact, who's the money? Yeah, so Toronto is the favorite on the run line. So as a road favorite, they're 3-3, averaging 3.5, giving up 4.3. And as a home underdog, 9-2 yesterday. So not a lot of volume. But let's go and let me see here. Is there Toronto last couple of games? So going back to last May, 3-2 for the Blue Jays, 3-2. That's the same game. Jose Barrios 2-1, 7-11. Okay, and then Kikuchi against Astros against Garcia, and that was in April. All right, so Toronto had a pretty good year last year against. Let me see, did they? Let me go back up here. Let's go. No, 8-7. No, Houston had a good 2-1, and then 3-2. So pretty much even. But game 1, checklist, Houston. Let me see here some of the other stats and trends. And again, these trends that you see in this column is the team trends, and this is the league trend. So whenever Toronto's on the road, the total's 9. They're 1-1 and 1-1 to the over/under. And then the league system trend, road teams are 16 and 17 when the total's 9, and the over/under is 16, 12, and 5. So if you're ever reading the Raymond report and you're wondering about these columns, and then we give you the edge, the check mark here, it tells you any stat above 60%, we give it a check mark. So that way, when you're going through all the stats and you want to save some time, you just want those 60% or higher trends. Like here, any road team coming off a road loss is a favorite, 18 and 12. So check mark right there. And look at the over. Road teams, Houston, that's 9 and 2. That's why. Yeah, Houston at home, 9 and 2 to the over. And what else do we got here? Home teams coming off an LA East division opponent, 24-10 and 1. Those American League East teams can hit too, right? So, and look at that. 70, 30, and 4. So teams coming off an American Conference opponent, 70, 30, and 4 to the over. That's why we've seen a lot of overs at the beginning of the year. And what else do we got here? Home teams coming off a 9 runs for in the last game. So every home team in the Major League Baseball this season that scored 11 or 9 runs in their last game, 11 and 5 straight up in their next game. Oh, well, it is what it is, but I still like Toronto in this spot. And if they only given up 2 runs against home teams, 18, 8, and 2. So keep an eye on the over, maybe the over. And then look at this. Home teams coming off a win in game 1 of a series this year, 25, 14, and 1. And this is why you watch the Raymond report, right? To get the pearls, baby. Eh? Straight cash, homie. As Randy Moss would say, straight cash, homie. All right, let me see. Let's go to the next game. Yeah, it feels like a Toronto love in here today with all the Leafs and the Blue Jays. And I'm not a big Leafs fan. Everybody knows that. I'm an Ottawa guy, right? So I'm a Sens guy. But you got to give credit where credit's due, and that's the Maple Leafs making the playoffs. But we'll see if they get over the hump, and we know what that playoff hump's all about for Toronto, right? So the Leafs minus 154, and you couldn't pick a worse opponent for Toronto. Tampa Bay, they always play well against Toronto. 5-5 in Toronto the last 10, which is, you're saying, well, 500, but it's tough to win on the road, right? And in the last 10 head-to-head meetings, 5-5. And for the Lightning weren't really good road team this year, 18 and 23. But the one thing I love about the Tampa Bay Lightning is their head coach, John Cooper. Coop is, he's a proven winner. He's everywhere. He's won a Stanley Cup. He knows what the playoffs are about. He felt this team about 3 weeks ago when he challenged them, and he really, I forget what he did. I know he like early skates and meetings, and he called them out one game. But so Coop is trying to get his team ready for the Leafs, and they got Vasilevsky, right? And when you got 2 good goalies going at it, Samsonov, Vasilevsky. This is the reason why they went and got Samsonov, right? For this moment here, this time of year. So we'll see if that trade or that signing paid off. But Vasilevsky, the one thing, with Vazzy is it's tough to bet against him. And what I love about this Tampa Bay team, they got a lot of clutch playoff performers, right? And you look at Stamkos, you look at Kucherov, Killorn, Point, and then you look at Hedman on the blue line. They got all the tools, and even though they didn't have a great regular season, the beautiful thing about the playoffs is the regular season is over. You don't even have to worry about the regular season anymore because you're in the show. Now you got your opponent. Now it's everybody starts from scratch. It's 0-0 for everybody, and this is where I think Tampa Bay wins the series. In fact, if you go to the front page yesterday on our website, I gave my Stanley Cup prediction. And where is it again? Where is the Stanley Cup prediction that I gave? Did I already make it to page 2? Let me go back to page 2. Maybe it's already on page 2. And here it is right here. I got Boston winning it all against Colorado. So I got Colorado in 5 against Seattle, Dallas in 7 against Minnesota. I got Winnipeg over Vegas. I got Edmonton over LA in 6. Not looking good in the first round here. I had Boston in 5 against Florida. Tampa Bay in 7 against Toronto. I got the Islanders over Carolina in 7. I got the Rangers in 6 over the Devils. Then I got Rangers, Boston in the conference semifinals, and I got Boston winning the conference finals. And then I got Colorado, Edmonton in the semis, and I got Colorado going up against Boston. I got Boston winning. That's where I see things playing out. Normally I'm really big on the Florida teams, but they're looking a little bit old right now. They're looking a little bit old, and we know once you get to the second and third round, That's where all the spaghetti legs come throughout the year, right? Young teams, you got to be able to skate and you got to stay out of the box. Two things you want to do. It's like coaching football, right? When I coach football, I said there's two things that you want to do. You don't turn the ball over and stay out of and no penalties. Same thing in hockey. Turnovers, well, turnovers happen all the time in hockey, but in hockey, great goaltending wins Stanley Cups, and you got to stay out of the box against those really good teams that, like Boston. You look at the Boston Bruins. What makes Boston great is their goaltending, and you look and they're a bunch of sandpaper players. Like that's what I call the playoff teams with a lot of grit, right? Sandpaper players. And you look at Boston, they got a lot of sandpaper players. Tampa Bay, they got those you look at what's his name, the Corey Perry, and who else do they got? Point, Killhorn, those guys. Even Sergachev on the back end, they can bring the sandpaper, the grit. And going to corners against those guys, you feel, especially Hedman. He's what, like 6'4", 6'5", or maybe he's a little bit taller than that. Let me see, Hedman. What's his? I don't know. I got his. No, I don't have his height and weight here, but I know Hedman's a big dude. But yeah, bottom line, when you want to win a Stanley Cup, it starts in the back end. Looking at tonight, game one. I know the forecast has 3.1 to 2.5. I think this is a game where I'm probably going to, if I do play it, it's the puck line. Plus 1.5 on Tampa Bay. If you're going to take this game, I recommend you take the puck line. I wouldn't touch the money line in this game because, Toronto coming in, and let me see how they came in. Did they come in limping or come in firing here in their last 10? They are 7-3, but who did they play? Strength of schedule where's their strength of schedule last 7? 44%, not pretty good, 38.7. So they didn't play a lot of Tampa Bay didn't play a lot of good teams down the stretch. Red Wings, Leafs, 4-3. Sens, Islanders, Rangers, Islanders, those are good teams. Capitals, and then they played Blue Jackets, Bruins, Canadians, Panthers, Lightning. Pretty much 44%, just like the strength of schedule says. But I'm gonna lean with Tampa Bay in 7. But in game one, give me Tampa plus 1.5, and that's where I'm gonna lean here this evening. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball, stats and trends. And like my disclaimer always says, trends are your friends, but they don't pay the rent. And let me see here. Show me the money! Let's show you the money. The White Sox, 10-2 as a home team, coming off a 4-run loss the last 3 years. So that was 2 days ago. The over 9-2 for the Astros, the home team, versus an American Conference opponent this season. But that's, the 9-2 at home. The White Sox, we got that one. The under. 3-13 for the White Sox, coming off a loss against an American League East division opponents. The Mets 8-2 as an away team, coming off a 5-game win streak, and the Rays 8-2 to the over as an away team, coming off a 7-run loss the last 6 years. So we'll see the over if that cashes in today. NBA. I won't leave you hanging there, NBA fans. So this is the report card. If you go to your dashboard area, this is my report card area, and this is. I use this all the time for my money management tips, right? If you go to NBA and you click on game matchups, the market value index, you see where I had the end here, bet units. That's my recommendation. If you ever want to see how much I recommend, if you want to, your money management, I talk about it all the time on these podcasts. You got to have a money management plan, right? What does Mike Tyson say? Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face, or you don't want your bookmaker punching in the face. You want to punch them in the face and take their money, right? At the end of the day, it's all fun and games until you lose your shirt in sports betting. And the one thing if you enjoy this activity, you have to really come at it with a game plan. And one of my strategies is, and I'll do another video on it. Normally it should show up down here, but it's not. I'll have to look into why. But anyways, tonight Atlanta taking on Boston, game 2. 93.7% chance of winning here for the Celtics. I got 120 to 109 as my forecast, and looking at some of the numbers right here against B-type teams, 15-10, and look at that, Atlanta against those 60% or higher teams, not good. Hey, Joe.
Struggling.
5-14 against those A-type teams, so not good. Neutral 11 days, bullish 28 days. Bullish means they're 5-2, 6-1, 7-0 in their last 7 games. And they've been doing that for 28 days, almost a month. My line on the line tonight, my line on the game tonight, minus 7.3, and you can see we're overvalued at 10, so buyer beware. 2-unit recommendation if you like Boston at minus 10, but 3 on the Atlanta Hawks. New York taking on Cleveland, the Cavs. 59.1% chance of winning here for the Cavaliers compared to 28.9 for the, not the Mets, but the New York Knicks. And I got a 108, 103 here at 120, 109. I don't know if I gave you the forecast, but I just did. 108, 103 final here. So I got them winning by 5? Close to the line, right? Money line. Check the money line. See what the money line is, but be very careful. Again, playoffs. It's you can't treat regular season, playoffs like you did regular season. And, you really got to pick your spots. The one thing in betting on playoff series, I find you make your money in the first 2 games. First 2, maybe 3, and then after that, I turn into a tourist. Yeah, the first 3 games, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I always find that in the first 2-3 games, you got a really good feel, and then the bookmaker catches up, and then we're all on the same page in game 4 or 5. That's where I become a tourist. I normally bet my games in the playoffs in the first round, because once you get to the second round, now it's so microscopic that everybody knows what's going on. It's only a handful of teams. The line is so tight that if you really want to make money in sports betting in the playoffs, it's the first round and then the first 3 games of the first round, right? And then, again, I turn into a tourist in game 4 to 7, unless there's really some good value. Minus 108 to 103 against those B-type teams, 16-13. And for the New York Knicks, they are 10-13 against those A-type teams. Bullish 13 days, neutral 9 days. Neutral means they're 4-3, 3-4 in the last 7. -6, so fair market value, and +4. So you're getting good value on New York. If you like New York, 1 unit tonight compared to 5. And the Clippers, you know what? I took a futures ticket on the Clippers. I can't remember what I got. Let me go check here at my out. I bought the Clippers prior to the season, and I didn't put a lot of money on it. I just put some beer and pizza money on it. And in fact, where's my open bets? So what did I do here? Clippers, yeah, +3,200. Yeah, so 25 to win 800. Like I said, beer and pizza money. Some days you just get those urges, and I said, you know what? Just for fun, just being a Raptor fan and seeing what Kawhi did back in the day, and Kawhi Leonard's been getting better and better every week. I said he's got that Kawhi look right now, that playoff look, and I said, you know what? When he's playing like this, back up the Brinks truck, because I think this is going to be a good run for the Clippers. Yeah, I do like the Clippers at +3,200. I put 25, like I said, it only pays 800 only, but yeah, why not? Beer and pizza money. Clippers tonight. Let me see, 8.5, 225.5, 81.8% chance of winning, 22.4. 119 to 111 is what I have as a forecast. And you can see the B-type teams, 9-12 for Phoenix, 14-13. The only thing I'm a little concerned though with the Clippers is they beat the beatables, especially the real beatables, 25-9 against C-type teams. It's the A-type teams, they struggle, 6-16. But I'd have to go look at load management there to see if how many times Kawhi has played and Paul George played in the same game against those A-type teams, right? The dynamic duo. If you follow my podcast, you know basketball is all about the dynamic duo, right? The Batman and Robin theory. Batman needs Robin, and Robin needs Batman to really go deep into the playoffs. That's why when you look at the great franchise, the players, you know, Kobe and Shaq, Jordan, Pippen, like just go through the series. There's always a Batman and Robin theory right there, and we'll see if that pans out with the Clippers and Phoenix. Phoenix, again, you know, getting the trade deadline, getting all those players. I don't know if that's going to work out for them. All right, what else we got here? The top 25 sports betting options. Number 1 tonight, Tampa Bay is your number 1 sports betting option at plus 135. Again, I like Tampa on the puck line. Neutral 30 days, strength of schedule 39 against those, let me see, Toronto 8-type teams. 41%, not a great record. And coming in on the road, 18-23. A 40.6% chance of winning and fair market value if you do like them. All right, there you go. That is the new podcast, the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast format that I'm going to do each and every day. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to comment, and again, every comment you guys make, I look at, take to heart probably too much, but you know, always striving to make the site better and to give you a better viewing experience. Like I know the old format we had was not good in mobile, but this one here seems to be a little bit better in mobile, so I'm hoping that it works out for you. All right, have yourself a great rest of your day.
Dilly, dilly.
Yeah, dilly dilly, and I'll be back here on a a wacky Wednesday. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back tomorrow on another edition of the Raymond Report. Cheers.